Hey everyone, welcome to DittDott. My name is Amanda, and alas, we're back in my kitchen. Last week's camping adventures have come to a close. If you missed that video, make sure you check it out because I had a lot of fun cooking outdoors. But tonight, here we are, and we're making salsa chicken. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a couple of chicken breasts here. Chicken breasts are fairly large these days, so we typically eat about half a chicken breast per person. And then I like to have some for leftovers and or if somebody is extra hungry that night. So I'll usually do 3 chicken breasts for my family of 4. And you saw me, I put my hand on top and just slide the knife underneath. Really, you should go away from you. Not practicing good knife skills there, but that's just a good way to fillet your chicken in half. So I'm gonna put my knife so I can wash it, and I'm going to spread these chicken out so that we can season them up. All my pretty towels are in the wash right now, so I've just got one of my old rags. Okay, so I like to, sometimes when I'm making like a seasoning mix, so that I don't have to keep touching the chicken and washing my hands, I'll just take a little bowl and mix up a quick mix. So you can do a pre-mixed Tex-Mex-y kind of chili powder or whatever, but I'm gonna use cumin. Oh man, it smells so good. If you open your spices and you don't get a strong scent, then they're probably too old. So when I open this, definitely smells like cumin, and I'm excited because I know that it's not too old. So here's some garlic powder. I don't like to use garlic salt. I like to use garlic powder so that I can control how much salt I use, which, you know, probably is more than I should, but still, I'm in control. And some oregano. This is just crushed oregano. I'm gonna go ahead and use all of what I have because I'm almost out. And this is, oh no, that was the onion powder first, and now this is the garlic powder. The garlic powder is a little bit more golden color. So I'm not really measuring, I'm just putting in like a teaspoon or 2 of each. Now, this is a salsa chicken, and I thought it would be really good with my smoked salt. I'll put a link to this, an Amazon link. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. This one I think is applewood. I keep the bag, it comes in a big like 1 or 2 pound bag, and then I just put a little bit in my spice drawer. I like this because it is salt, and it gives the smoked flavor. They just take salt and smoke it. So you're not adding any kind of weird liquid that has who knows what ingredients and preservatives. This is literally smoked salt. It will add a really big wow factor to any dish that you want to have that little smoky kind of flavor to. And then I'm just using some black pepper. If you want to make this spicier, you can use some chili powders, you know, that kind of thing. My family tends to like things on the mild side, so I've got some mild salsa that we'll be using later. You can also kick up the heat, of course, with a much stronger salsa. All right, so I'm gonna mix this together and just coat my chicken breasts, both sides, and then we'll go over to the stove. Rub them in. I'm making a mess. There's my puppy Watson. He likes to help me cook. All right, so I have a stainless steel skillet. You can use a nonstick if that's your preference. I'm going to put some, I prefer avocado oil a lot of times when I'm cooking, but again, use what oil suits you. And we're gonna let this skillet get hot, and we are going to kind of brown our chicken, but not cook it all the way through. So I'm gonna give this a second to get hot. Okay, now it's hot. My avocado oil is starting to shimmer. I'm going to put down my chicken, and you're gonna wanna hear that sizzle sound. That's good. And then you wanna leave it alone. And my stove is on high, and I might lower it down if things get too hot. I'm gonna have to do this in batches. While that was getting hot, I went ahead and got out a small little pot and just some canned black beans. I'm gonna serve this chicken with some white rice, some canned black beans that I'm gonna season with more cumin and some garlic. Those will be my side dishes. Okay, so when you're cooking in a non-stick skillet like this, if you try to pick up your chicken and it sticks, that means don't mess with it. Leave it alone. It will once it starts to get some browning, it will release. All right, again, we're not cooking this all the way through, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out, even though they are still quite raw. I just wanted to get a little bit of color on them. I could probably have gotten a little bit more, but this is fine. It'll still add some flavor. While this is cooking, I put my beans on here. I'm gonna get those started. And I'm actually using leftover white rice. Don't tell my family. They hate leftover white rice. But I have a little secret. If you put it in a glass bowl and add a little bit of water and maybe a tiny pat of butter and cover it with some plastic and then microwave it, it kind of refluffs, not much water, just enough water to steam the rice again, and microwave it. It kind of brings the rice back to life and doesn't make it feel so leftover. All right. Camp was so fun last week. I wish we could stay longer, but we timed it right. While we were at camp, the weather was so perfect. And right when we got home, we had another heat wave here in the Pacific Northwest, and the temperatures got to like over 100 degrees again. Okay, so my skillet is getting a little too hot here. So I'm gonna turn down the heat and add a little bit more oil to, my thing broke. Because I don't want to have to stop and clean my skillet. I want those good flavor bits. Okay, I'm going to turn this all the way to low. And then I'm going to get my other chicken back in here. And we'll do the next step. So just from a jarred salsa, whatever brand is your favorite. And we're going to go ahead and pour the whole thing on it. Oh, that smells good. And I'm gonna kind of work it around so it gets kind of under the chicken too. And depending on how loose your chicken is, your salsa, we might, I think I'm gonna add like a little bit of chicken broth to this or some water, because we're basically gonna now poach the chicken in this salsa. Okay, so sad. Oh wait, this one doesn't need scissors. It's got a pull tab. I was gonna say, it was so sad. My camp scissors are actually sharper than my kitchen scissors. I need to replace those. All right, I'm gonna add some corn for why not? It'll be kind of a yummy little pop of flavor there. Some olives would be good too. Okay, put that back in the freezer. Okay, I already had this open in the refrigerator. Otherwise, I probably would just use some water, but I'm gonna go ahead and just add a couple tablespoons to give it something to poach in. And then, yeah, make sure that's nice and good. I'm gonna top the whole thing with cheese. We're gonna cover it and let it poach with, hold on, let me not get ahead of myself. Let's cover it with cheese first. So I'm choosing a nacho and taco blend, but Monterey Jack would be good, whatever cheese that you have. And then I'm gonna turn this kind of up to medium low, and let me show you what it's looking like so far. So that's what it's looking like right now. And you can see it's kind of simmering. I don't want it to boil. I just want it to simmer. When I put my lid on, I'm actually gonna crack it because I want the heat to melt the cheese. But because I put that liquid and I don't want it to be too soupy, I want some of it to be able to evaporate out. So I'm gonna crack my lid just a little bit. And I'm listening for it, and it's kind of coming up to a boil. So I'm gonna lower it down even more. I might end up pushing it to my back burner, which is low. When meat is poaching, if it comes up to a boil, it will toughen the proteins in the meat and you will have tough chicken. So yeah, see, it's boiling. So I'm gonna turn this burner off, move it back to my back burner, which is more of a simmer burner. My stove has, different levels, and I want it just to simmer for about 15 minutes, and then we'll check to make sure the chicken is cooked through. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Ooh, yes, nice and melty cheese. So we're gonna use a thermometer to find out if our chicken is cooked all the way through. So let's see. I'm gonna use my tongs and kind of lift it up a little bit. And you want to get it nice in the center of your chicken. And if you cut them all about the same thickness, they should all finish cooking at about the same time. Okay, so This has been cooking for 15 minutes and it's at 160 on the dot right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it back on, this front burner, oops, and let it, just needs a few more minutes. So I'm just gonna let it cook without the lid on and we'll check back in just a minute or two. All right, so I checked with the thermometer again and the chicken is cooked through. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to dish up a slice and keep it pretty. Oh wait, before I do that, I've got a lime. So this is optional, but if you like lime, it just kind of brightens up the dish. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit across the top here. There we go. And now I will try to, without making too much of a mess, place it right on my rice. And then I'm gonna scoop up a little bit of the sauce because I like things to be extra saucy. And then let's go give this a taste. All right guys, so here it is all plated up and I've got a side of some rice and those cumin beans and this salsa chicken with so much cheese. So let's give it a taste. That's really good. It reminds me straight of being in a Mexican food restaurant. So totally win. I'm going to put some tortilla chips on the table too. Watson is impatient for his dinner if you heard him growling over there. Anyway, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.